This conference will now be recorded.
So guys, before I go into this database stuff, into the stored process, okay, which is the major topic of database, let me give some understanding about database views, joins under database views, and then triggers. Okay, triggers concept is very important for us. Okay, the reason being this triggers is the general SLT replication, SLT data replication. Okay, I just shown you, right? We load the data into SAP HANA using three techniques: SLT, BODS, and smart data. SLT replication is through triggers and log tables. So today we focus on views and triggers. Triggers concept just learn now and we'll implement in SLT. Okay. So I'm creating a basic database view. I have two tables, a customer and an account table. I'm creating a database view. Guys, before I go with database view, so what we say it as a database view and table. So I can say, so database view combination of one or more tables and joins between them. So database view is a combination of one or more tables and joins between them, like might be linear join, left or join, like that. Okay. Have two tables, customer and account table. We open the content of customer table. So customer table and account table. So both the tables has customer ID in common. Let's join these two tables and create a database view. Okay, and join with customer ID. Frankly, let's create a new database view. You can drag and drop the table here, or you can create an insert table here. The table name, let's give account table. Schema is HANA 52. Let's say okay. So now we got two tables. So what is the common column? Let's join with the common column. Let's make a join from customer ID to customer ID. Okay, the common column. So the join will be by default inner join, guys. You all know, right? What is the difference between inner, left outer, and right outer joins? Okay, inner join get you only the common data. There is left outer join. You see common data plus additional data in the left table. Okay, I just go with something like the view name is customer underscore account. So if you double click on the join, so this is by default an inner join. If you select outer join in the left table, it will become a left outer join. If you select outer join in the right table, it will become a right outer join. Say okay, so I'm going within in the join. See the data here in account table. We have customer IDs from 1001 to 1005. Here also have customer ID from 1001 to 1005. Now let's add customer ID. Right click, let's select. So what are the columns you needed in output? Let's select it. Customer ID, customer name, address. I select these three columns from the customer name. I select bank, account, bank, and balance. Balance I'm not selecting. I'm just creating a table with 5 columns. Sorry, database view with 5 columns. Customer ID, customer name, address from one table. Account and bank from other table. Let's provide some synonym. So in the database view, this customer ID will be seen as customer ID and the C name will be seen as customer name. They're all visible, so sorting based on customer ID in the ascending order. So I given the sorting and let's say create your database view. Execute. So your database view will be created here. You can say customer underscore account database view has been created successfully. So right click on the database view and say open definition. This database view contains 5 columns: customer ID, customer name, address, bank, account, and bank. And this is just SQL statement that was generated for creating this database view. Okay. So this statement for creating database view is very important for us because we write a similar kind of statements when we create the script-based calculation view. So our major modeling object is calculation view, and that calculation view can be created in 2 ways: graphical, and you can write some script to create a calculation view. And the scripting we write is mostly okay. This database view creation script will help us while we write the script for a calculation. I'll create that. Okay, now we created a database view. Okay, this is the open definition of database view. Right click on the database view and say open content. You see the common data. You see 5 records. Okay, now data has been combined using linear join. Yeah, so database view is a virtual object, guys. It won't store the data physically. So guys, no object in the database will store the data physically except tables. Remaining objects like views, triggers, stored procedures, okay, they all are again virtual objects. Data storage always happens in the tables. Okay, database view is a virtual object which is in turn a combination of one or more tables and joins between them. Now we have your database view created. Okay, now my agenda is to create a database using script. Can we create the same database using an SQL script? Okay, see here now. I say it as create view in the schema HANA 52. View name I'm giving it as customer underscore account underscore left. I'm using a left outer join, so I'll use left. Okay, now let's create this view as select T1 means table 1 dot ID means customer ID. Again table 1 dot customer name. You can write it in a single line also. Select table 1 dot customer ID, comma table 1 dot customer name. It's up to you if you write in multiple lines, that's okay, not a problem. If you write in single line, also not a problem. For better understanding, I'm writing in multiple lines. Okay, customer ID, comma customer name, comma from table 1 I select address also means we're gonna select 3 columns from table 1. From table 2 I take account and bank. Now let's say from I'm selecting 5 columns, 3 columns from table 1. So the table 1 is customer, having a left outer join with table 2. My table 2 is account table. Okay. So I selected these 5 columns from customer table and account table. The join between them is left outer join. If it is inner join, you type inner join. And the join condition is on table 1 dot customer ID equal to table 2 dot customer ID. The join condition is on customer ID to customer ID. And then if you want to sort, I say no order by table 2 dot account in descending order. Sorted by account in DESC, that means descending order. If you say ASC, it's ascending order. If you don't provide anything also, it's by default ascending order. So I'm just creating a view like this here using an SQL statement. Instead of customer ID, if you want to see it as customer ID, you can write a alias name here. So T1 dot cust ID as customer ID. I'm writing T1 dot cname as customer name. Okay. So I'm just creating a database view. Connection to database. you get this kind of error, let's go here, choose connection, select, say OK. Now connection is made. Let's execute again. Now this database view has been created successfully. Okay. There you can see our database view is created with 5 columns, and that's being left out of join. Right click. Let's say go to open content. Now you can see all the common data plus additional record. This is the additional record in the left table. Right, left out join gives you common data plus additional data present in the left table. So you can see that as well. Clear, guys? Database view creation.
Yes,
You
sir.
can do
Clear
it
for
like
me.
loader joins as well. Okay. So this is how we create some database views. Okay, let's try creating a trigger, database trigger. These are the objects we have in database. Tables can join multiple tables and create database view virtual objects. And then we can create some triggers. Every trigger has a condition and an action. Every database trigger you create, it has a condition and an action. Okay. Come on. If condition satisfied, action will be taken immediately. Okay. If condition gets satisfied, action will be taken immediately and automatically. Okay. Just a minute, please. Muting myself, just 1 minute. Okay, guys, can you hear me? Now let's start creating this database trigger. So for trigger, I'm just creating a log table. Let me create one table. I'm just creating a new table, calling it as log table. Or I take it as account underscore logs. In the table, I'm creating this table with two columns. It is user, varchar with maximum 15, then timing. So data type for timing, I'm just making it as timestamp. I'm going with the timestamp data type. You know, right? Timestamp means it will pick your date plus time is a timestamp, and this timestamp changes every second. You know this concept, right? Okay, I'm just creating a table with two columns, user and timing. That's account underscore logs table. Okay, now see here, refresh. So I created this. So now let's create a trigger. So I say now create. So I say create trigger. So name of the trigger, I'm just giving it as Hana 52. So in the schema Hana 52, the trigger name I give it as insert. So I'm creating database trigger. So here first we have to give a, so I told you right, trigger has a condition and action. I'm giving a condition. Okay. So I'm creating a condition called, let's say after insert. After insert on account table, after every insert on account table for each row, I'm creating a trigger. So after insert an account table for each row. Now let's write the action. Let's say begin. So we write the action between begin and end. In the begin and end, I'm writing an action. So the action is insert into account log tables. It's after every insert, okay, on a not customer table. I'm sorry, this is account table. Sorry. After insert on account table for each row, insert into account logs table. Values. What values I'm going to insert is okay, current user, okay, and then current timestamp. In the timing column, we're gonna insert current timestamp. So in the username column, we're gonna insert current user, and in the timing column, we're gonna insert current timestamp. Let's create database trigger. So create database trigger. So Hana 52. So name of the trigger is insert log. Okay. So what is the condition after insert on account table for each row? If any user come and insert one row into the account table, so then the condition is satisfied. I can say now action will be taken. What is action? So action is so system will automatically write the data into account logs table with whoever user inserts that record. So that will be written in user. Okay. And at what time he inserts the record, that will be written in current timestamp. See here. So these triggers are used to maintain logs and generally to maintain the logs. Okay, which user created what object at what time. So the logs are maintained using the triggers. See here now. Let's say. Yeah, so now it is created successfully. Now your trigger is created successfully. See here. So you can see insert underscore log trigger has been created successfully. Now, if you say right click and say open definition of the trigger, you see the statement of the trigger, that's it. Okay. So now what we do is let's make the condition get satisfied. Right now in the account logs table, do you have any data in the accounts table, logs table? Nothing, right? So in the account table, right click. If you open the content, you got 5 records. Let's try inserting a 6th record now. I say now insert into. So I'm trying to make my condition satisfied. I'm trying to satisfy my condition. So insert into account table. Hey, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Satya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just had some internet issues, so connectivity issue. Okay, so where we lost actually.
We are now trying to insert a new record into accounts table.
Okay, fine. Okay, it's okay. So now I'm trying to insert the data into the account table. So values, customer ID, I just use something like 1006. Account data written in account 746. 74712 846. Account, then bank, ICICI. Okay, balance I'm just giving it as 867.12. I'm trying to make my condition satisfied. Okay, now let's see. Now data has been written into the account table. Now if you go to your account table, let's refresh. You got your sixth record RAM. Okay, now if you go to your logs table, let's refresh. So your condition is satisfied, it will take the action automatically. So the user logged in. Okay, it's the user written the data is Hana. So at what time he wrote the data? So 2020 August 20, 7 hours 4 minutes. Okay, now again I'll do one more thing. Let's make any other insert. I'm trying to insert another record. So now let's go to the account table. Let's see. So another record was inserted. So now it will maintain a log here. The same user, but 7 hours 4 minutes here, 7 hours 5 minutes here. So how many records has been written? So you can see the entire logs will be maintained in the okay log table. Okay. So if I go one thing, I do one thing. So this is about the triggers. So clear so far, triggers part, condition and action. Okay, generally this trigger concept is very important for us because we'll use SLT. The SLT data replication is based on database triggers only. It is completely based on triggers and log tables. We're going to use this triggers and log tables concept when we go with SLT replication. So this is very important for us. So please remember this trigger concept at any cost. So we created a database trigger, we created database views. Um, Triggers, views, tables, done. Okay, let me create a database sequence. The sequence is not so important, but just I'm creating a database sequence also. You just understand, if you understand it, okay, so the sequence is not so important for us. It's used in operations part only. So if you understood, means just make an understanding and leave it. So now we're going to create a database sequence. So I right click on your sequence folder. Okay, there is an option called sequence, create a new sequence. Okay, to apply this sequence, what I do is I take another table, right click on the tables. I'm creating a new table. I make this as something like billing table. I'm creating a new database table, that's the billing table. To apply the sequence, I'm just creating another table. So the first column is billing ID. Data type is integer data type. Then I go with product. So varchar with something like 10. Then I go with store. So billing ID, product, store. Okay, then I go with something like items. This is like an integer type. Then I go with something like revenue generated. So revenue generated, I'm going with a decimal data type, length 10, 2. I'm creating a billing table with 5 columns: billing ID, product, store, items, and revenue. Let's activate the billing table. Okay, now I created this billing table successfully. So if we go to the tables, let's refresh. Let's apply the sequence for this billing table. Okay. So the sequence I'm creating, see here, I just go to the sequence folder. I click on the sequence folder. Let's create a new database sequence. The database sequence, I'm just making it as billing underscore sequence. Okay. So start your sequence with 1. It's up to you. The starting number, I'm starting my sequence with 10001. So I'm starting with 10,001. Increment by 1. So means the next value will be 1002, 1003 like that. Minimum value 1. Maximum value is 9 nines. Means this sequence will go from 10,000 ones to 9 nines. Or I go and think something like 6 nines. Okay. It can go till 9,99,999. So if I pick the option called cycle, okay, if I pick the option called cycle means after reaching these 6 nines, it will again fall back to your minimum value, which is 1. Okay, so after reaching, so right now the sequence will start from 10,001. So once the sequence reaches this, okay, it will increment by 1. And for every new record, the next record will be 1002, 1003, 10,002, 10,003. It will keep on increasing, okay, till it reaches the maximum value of 9 nines. Okay. Okay, so start with this, increment with 1. So so till it reaches max value. If you pick the option of cycle, it will fall back to the minimum value. But if you want to stop the sequence, don't select the option of cycle. Okay, if you don't select the option of cycle, so there won't be any fallback again. So reset your query. How do you know the sequence has reached the maximum value? I say now select maximum of billing. Select maximum of billing ID, because we're gonna use this sequence on billing table, guys. Here we're gonna use this sequence on billing ID of the billing table. So when maximum of this billing ID, select maximum of billing ID from HANA 52 schema dot billing table. So once the output of the statement reaches this 6 nines, it will stop. I'll discuss how this output reaches 6 values. I'll discuss this clearly. Just copy it right now. Say Control C. Okay. So I created a billing sequence. Start your sequence with 1001, increment by 1, minimum value 1. Okay. Max value for this sequence is 6 nines, and it will start from 10,001. Keep on increasing till it reaches this 9,99,999 till 10 lakhs, I can say. So once it reaches, how do you know it reached this value? Based on the statement. If you take the option of cycle, so once maximum value is reached out, it will fall back to the minimum value. If you don't cycle it, it will stop. The sequence will stop after reaching maximum value. Now let's execute your sequence. So now your sequence has been created successfully. Now your billing sequence is created successfully. Let's start using this billing sequence, okay, in your billing table. So sometimes you can ask me, okay, let's start using this billing sequence in a billing table while writing the data into the billing table. See here. How do we use the sequence in writing data into billing table? And insert into, I'm inserting data into the billing table values. Insert data into billing table values. What values we have to insert now? Okay, for billing ID. So the billing ID data should be auto generated. So I'll take from billing sequence. Also take the billing ID data from billing sequence dot next val. It will always pick you the next value. Because if you observe carefully, guys, whenever a customer or an end user, okay, so you went to some particular store, you purchased a product, guys. So what happens? Okay, they will scan your product and they give you the billing, and billing will happen, right? So if you observe carefully, a unique billing ID will be generated. On every billing transaction, you have a unique billing number, which will be your reference number for the future. Because this billing number is always unique for a transaction. No two transactions can have same billing number. Okay, point one to be noted, billing number should be independent for a transaction. No two transactions can have same billing number. And point number to be made, okay. Okay, the second point is, and this billing number should be automatically generated. So how this billing number is unique for a transaction? Because these billing numbers are generated in a sequential order, and for every new transaction, the billing number will keep on increasing. That's the first. So billing number will be unique because it is generated in a sequential order. And how it is automatically generated, and it is using a database sequence. Okay, I'll take the billing number. So insert into this billing table values for billing ID. So data of the billing ID will be taken from the billing sequence dot next value, means it will always pick the next value. And if your current billing number is 10,001, it will pick next value. And if increment by 1, right, it will pick 10,002 like that. But initially it will be 10,001 only. Okay, the product I just give it as X. Store is Hyderabad. Items 4. Revenue generated 984.71. Let's execute this transaction. If you go to your billing table, let's go to the content of the billing table, right? Let's say open content of your billing table. So now what is the billing ID generated, guys? The billing ID data is taken from billing sequence. So initial start with 10,001, right? So the billing ID started with 10,001, product is X, store Hyderabad. So for suppose I create a new transaction. A new transaction is created. So this time the product is Y. Same, store is Hyderabad, items is 6. Revenue generated is something like 755.16. Let's execute. So now if you go to your billing table, refresh. Now see billing ID generated is 10,002 because the next value, because the billing sequence we say increment by 1, right? So next value will be 10,001 plus 1, 10,002. If another user came and created a new transaction again, Y. So this time the store is in Bangalore. Same number of transactions. Okay, now let's say come and execute this statement. Another, so now you see another transaction, so 10,003. It's like that. And if for every new transaction happening, so it will automatically it will automatically increase your billing ID. Yeah, guys. So the sequence and how we use the sequence to write the data into the tables. So you can get an automatically generated values using this database sequence. Okay. So that is about triggers. So today we created database views, triggers and sequences. Okay. I stop here for today. So thank you all. Have a nice day. So in the next class, we'll focus on select queries,
Sir,
select streams, and we'll start with stored process again. Yes.
sir, one minute. Flow,
Yeah.
flow. Sir, is
Yes,
there
sir.
any SQL script document